Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have the Director of Marketing and Sales at Originality.AI, Madeleine Lambert. Welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you here. Always a top topic these days. It's artificial intelligence. So really intrigued. I've had a couple of people on in the last few months talking about AI in various different forms. For you, it's to do with more just checking AI, checking things, which pretty much AI is like a robot, isn't it? Really doing lots of things for many different industries, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So tell us more about Originality AI. I mean, probably the clues in the name actually, and what it does.
Yeah,
and the company really.
Absolutely. So we built Originality.AI for marketers and for publishers to equip them with a tool to help them sort of validate their content before they published it. So we saw, prior to the launch of Originality, we actually owned a content marketing agency. And throughout that journey, the editorial process was definitely the most time-consuming piece to that business. And then we saw the wave of generative AI come in, and we knew that it would disrupt the industry just so much more. So we decided to exit that business and get in front of the problem. And we founded Originality.AI based off of the need that we anticipated for editorial teams and publishers. And so what Originality.AI does is it sort of sits in the back of your editorial process and allows you to determine whether AI had been used to help create the piece of content that you're about to publish on your website or on your client's website. So it basically just gives you the information that you need to make an informed decision as to whether you'd like to publish AI generated content on your site or not.
Right, I'm with you. So actually, it's just checking if AI has been used. It's not an AI tool.
So it is an AI.
It is an AI tool. AI checking AI.
Yeah, using AI to check for AI. But it is an AI tool. We've trained our own AI to because it's for the naked human eye, it's really hard to determine what is AI and what's not. No. The models are so good and so powerful that it's really hard to differentiate the two. But I guess the reason that people would want this is because people are really unclear as to like what the future of, specifically with respect to Google. People don't know how Google is going to approach AI generated content. And so they want to future proof their site and, maybe not use it if they fear that their site will be punished in the future for the use of it. Cool, yeah. So it's more of a quality assurance tool, that will allow people to make informed decisions about their sites.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we'll get more into this, later, but tell us about your journey and how did you get into all this? Are you a kind of a coder or I mean, marketing and sales means you just really, probably studied that, I suppose. You're from Canada anyway. I know that much now.
Yeah. So I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
So my background really in this space came from founding or being the founder of my own content marketing agency. So I started that in 2016. And I grew that and I basically created a service that would help marketers create content for their sites. And so my clients were people who owned websites, like affiliate websites primarily, and then other people who just needed help with a backfill of content that they wanted to publish on their site. And so we created a service out of selling content to high-end clients. And the biggest, as I said before, the biggest pain point in my business was the quality assurance piece. How do you prove to your client that they got the bang for their buck for the content that you are providing them? And so we used a lot of off the shelf content marketing tools to sort of validate the quality. But then when we saw that, like, when we saw that wave of generative AI coming, we were like, you know what, we can try to weather this storm, but this validation problem is already a problem, and it's going to get so much more challenging. So maybe time to pack this up and get in front of a different problem that we see coming, and, you know, create opportunities for yourself in other ways. And so I think that kind of ties into entrepreneurship. You pivot, and, you know, you capitalize on problems that you see coming.
Yeah, pivot. That's a big word that was used during the pandemic, actually. How was that for you anyway, the pandemic?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
No, how was that for you? How was that for you, the pandemic?
The pandemic? Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure if I should say this on air, but
it's all right. It's not live. But
content marketing.
Yeah.
Content marketing. Obviously, everyone went online.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I mean, I benefited from it, obviously. You know, podcasts went, no one knew much about that, really, to be honest. Only Netflix, a little bit.
Exactly. So people who hadn't previously had to do anything online for their business were panicking and trying to figure out, you know, how do I exist in a world where I have to be online? And so content marketing kind of blew up. So for us, we were still obviously in our content marketing days. For us, it was a really good year business wise. Yeah. Because we got the opportunity to educate people into why content marketing is important for their business, and sort of fill that educational gap with respect to SEO.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you use the word gap.
Yeah.
Gap stores in the whole of the UK closed down after the pandemic and went online only. They saw the benefit of clothes being sold online, that they just don't have stores anymore anywhere, you know. However, what you're saying is quite true, because they would have turned to people like yourself, digital marketing, say, experts, or professionals, whatever you want to say, because that even big companies like Gap and big brands had to look at online stuff, didn't they, really? And it's still going now, isn't it? You know, online deliveries online, you know, purchases. I mean, Amazon's obviously a biggest proof of that, but, you know, even your local shopping supermarket does a lot of online stuff and deliveries these days compared to before the pandemic, don't they? And
totally. So e-commerce had a huge shift, and we saw that with like platforms like Shopify that absolutely blew up, right?
Yeah.
And have subsequently had to sort of readjust for that major period of growth. But yeah, you've seen the e-commerce, sector just absolutely blow up post pandemic. And so that's who we were catering to, you know, people who were like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not going to be able to sell my product anymore because I can't physically do it. So how am I going to, you know, pivot and make it work online? And so they really turn to agencies like us to help them with the content marketing side of things.
Yeah. For some people, it's a very easy pivot, but for something like a dentist or a physiotherapist or something like that, you know, a personal trainer, then they couldn't really do anything about it. Well, I suppose personal trainer, I mean, because obviously I'm selling some coaching stuff. You could turn to coaching in other ways. It's the same kind of thing. But with say dentists, you can't really do it. You can't really go online and say, let me just show you how to put that there and take an x-ray here. And in fact, it really caused problems even with dentists today in the UK. I don't know about in Canada, but you can't hardly get any. You can't really get them on social healthcare now. You know, it's really there's a shortage of dentists, and people have to go private because they can't, you know, get to them.
I was going to say, has there been a big shift to privatized care there then?
Well, they're now talking about that for, do you say GPs, general practitioners in Canada? Yeah. So, because as I said, in America, they speak a different language, but in Canada, like you have primary school and secondary schools and things like that. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, they say high school in America, so it's a different thing, isn't it? So anyway, GPs are now saying that, it's a good thing to go private because there's a big waiting list since the pandemic and all this stuff now that's happened with the war in Ukraine and all that stuff and all the cost of living crisis. And, you know, GPs want money as well. They want to strike, doctors in the UK, up to consultants even, you know.
Right.
So I know I'm getting off topic a bit with online, but yeah, they went online. You now have to do stuff on the phone with them and online,
Yeah.
and some of them are probably becoming online coaches as well, health coaches and things like that, very, very top ones, obviously, so
yeah.
But it's changed a lot. The landscape's changed a lot.
And it's really emphasized the need for online content, which is where a tool like ours, comes to play when you want to safeguard your website against the use of unauthorized AI, generative AI.
Yeah. So now what I was going to get onto, I know it's kind of like, sometimes I throw a curveball sometimes that I don't mean to, because it's meant to be improving people's lives and things like that. And then sometimes it is a bit of a chat show where I throw in questions to like a journalist trying to be awkward. But what if sometimes AI might not be as reliable, or the AI might detect something. Actually, it's a mistake, Yeah. So yeah. That definitely could happen. It's like, no, that's not plagiarizing. Well, what are you talking about? My work's good,
Great question. So our tool is based off of a predictive model. So that's how we've trained it.
Right.
And so we've fed it like millions of points of data of verified human written content. And we've fed it millions of data points of verified AI generated content. And so we are extremely accurate at detecting like the true positive is very, very, very accurate. We have like a 99.15% accuracy rate. But on the flip side, with all predictive tools, there's going to be a false positive rate. And the false positives are going to happen. And it's part of educating yourself on how to use these tools, these predictive models, in a way that is going to serve you best. And so we have made it explicitly clear that this is not for academia. This is for content, this is for content that has been written for marketing purposes. Right. That is our use case. That's what we've trained our model against. That is the use case that our tool is going to be most accurate on. Mm-hmm. And we did that because of the false positive rate. And we don't think that students, if there's like a ballpark 2% false positive rate, that means that some students out there, if they used it for academia, would be accused falsely of using AI when they haven't.
Yes, exactly.
And that was just not something that we wanted to be part of.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And we've been explicitly clear about, there are lots of tools out there that are for academia, or not.
Well, I mean, it's not bad if they use it as a tool for research anyway, and then they can rewrite however the way they want, can't they really? So it's like looking at an old essay that someone written, and then you rewrite it or research and pull out extracts bits and quote it and things like that. So it's not a bad thing, but of course, in academia. I mean, I did politics and society as a mature student in the University of London. So, which brings me on to politics, because from a marketing point of view, it is marketing. Fake news, Donald Trump, Russia, Putin, all that has to do with stuff that needs to be checked and verified. You've got BBC, we've got BBC called BBC Verify. And it's your type of software that really needs to sort that out, isn't it?
Definitely. So we actually have a fact-checking aid, because we know that generative AI is going to produce what we call AI hallucinations. So basically, if they don't have all of the information, or if they have jumbled data within their training database, they don't know what the right answer is. So they're going to make it up. And when when I say I mean the AI is going to make it up.
Yeah, of course. It's
going to sound super convincing, because they're trained to write convincing.
It is very convincing, isn't it, really?
It is very convincing.
Yeah.
And so we've seen over and over and over again with generative AI that they do produce, AI hallucinations, which is a societal problem because it helps to spread misinformation. And so if we're relying on generative AI fully, then we're going to have a very polluted, online presence. And we're going to have a very, polluted information online, basically.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very increasingly difficult to understand what is true and what's not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the problem. It actually goes as far as, and I know the actors in Hollywood went on strike. I don't think they were A-list actors. I think they were B-list. But even so, actual videos and voices being recreated, and it really can be believed. It's that accurate now. Can you imagine? And it's rapidly improving so quick that people are getting scared about it. People, probably even myself, I might be scared to open my phone one day and say, is this real? Is this a real person or
totally?
Whatever,
and I think that people need to look at the information that they're consuming with a bit of a critical lens, because the internet is becoming a very polluted place. And I think you stick with sort of like your reputable, high quality sources and double down on those, right? However, we did do a study recently. This is kind of interesting from a political standpoint. So there are these GPT crawlers that basically scan the entire internet to train their AI models, right? So GPT bot is the AI crawler that crawls the internet to train the language model for ChatGPT. And so there's obviously a lot of privacy concerns about that. People don't love that. So they have the ability to block GPT bots from their sites. And so we conducted some research and were able to see which news platforms were blocking GPT bots and which ones were not. And it was interesting because sort of all of the mainstream sort of reputable blue news sources and media outlets were blocking GPT crawlers, whereas sort of like the more, right-leaning outlets that, support the Republican Party and Donald Trump were not blocking these bots. And so if we know that AI models are being trained on what they can consume and all of, the left-leaning sites are blocking it, but none of the right-leaning sites are blocking it, then that becomes a little bit of an unbalanced training data set. And so I think we need to be aware of that. And I think that that should be a concern, because it's prone to creating political biases.
Well, this is what's going on, actually. So certain people will be in power for a long time or get in or whatever. I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to get into American politics.
Yeah, we don't need to get into politics.
But we don't have to get into politics. But of course, we've got two very big political events happening this year. One is the UK elections, which is going to be very, 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 very contentious, and even more so contentious will be the US politics, because the idea of Trump coming back again is a very scary thing as well. And obviously there was this idea that Putin was behind Trump getting in or not getting. I can't remember where it was, but it's just not. And he was probably behind Brexit. You remember Brexit as well. Yeah. They reckon Russia was behind all that. So there is some scary stuff going on at the moment, and it was all down to stuff what you're talking about.
Right. And so when we have technology that is, pretty not unmonitored. But when it's so new and so progressive and being developed at such a exceptionally fast speed, there are risks that come with that, such as, an environment where biases are being supported.
Yeah. Well, let's get on to more sort of a positive side to what your company can do with marketers out there that really want to go ahead and get ahead with what they need to. So how can this help online creators and marketing companies or whatever? We're not talking about academic side, and let's leave the politics out of it now. Let's talk about the general online community out there using AI as a positive thing. How can your company now help them?
Yeah, for sure. So our software can help in a number of ways. So if you don't want AI on your site, it will identify content that has been created by generative AI. And then you can make that informed decision either to publish it, to edit it, or to not publish it. But then if AI has been used, if you'd like to use AI, which a lot of people do, we're not anti-AI. We just believe in the transparency of its usage. If you want to use AI and you want to validate that a piece of content is factually correct, you can run it through our fact-checking aid. Yeah. And it will essentially parse the piece of text into and identify statements. And then it cross-references those statements with reputable sources, and it will give you determination as to whether that fact is potentially true or potentially false. And it will link to reputable sources that will allow you to make that informed edit to your piece of content if you think that fact is indeed incorrect.
Yeah. I mean, there's times where I think I'll get AI generated stuff sent to me or whatever. So it's good to really check all that as well. It's always good to fact check anyway, isn't it? Really. So it's a good fact check.
Fact check. And so this aid helps in making that fact checking process speedier. Yeah. But then it also helps determine, if a piece of content has been written with generative AI to sort of combat exactly what we're just talking about with the AI hallucinations. And so at least, even if your piece of content was AI generated, that it's factually correct. Yeah. And that you're not participating in, spreading misinformation.
Oh yeah. Now, how do I know you're the real you? I'm just kidding. No, just joking. Obviously, you got that little joke. AI probably wouldn't have got it as much. What's going to say? So great. So what we really need to know now is how people can get hold of your software, what you probably can do to help in the process of helping them implement it. What's the process there?
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways to access our software. So if you're like a single user or have a small team, you're probably better off just using the core app, which is, it's a subscription service. You go to our website, Originality.AI, you subscribe to our monthly service, you get credits and then access to our platform. But then if you're like an agency and would like to implement this within your own workflow, and want to use it within your own CMS, then we have really good, robust API documentation that you can integrate with and make that work on your own, sort of in your own workflow.
Oh, fantastic. Can you tell people how they can get hold of you and this tool?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn at Originality.AI.
Fantastic. Well, Maddie, it's great to, obviously, we went on little tangents, obviously, on topics I like to talk about, politics and a few other things as well. So hopefully there won't be any AI firefighters or track athletes out there. They'll all be real, not like the Hollywood actors. So at least that'll be real anyway. But yeah. I was a semi-finalist at the Commonwealth Games, by the way. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. I don't know if it's coming to Canada soon, but anyway. Yeah, so, this is fantastic to hear more about AI and how it can help, and hopefully it'll help me with my business as well. I've been using it a bit myself, to be honest, for a few different things. So hopefully my bank balance will be a bit better next year. with it's very, very rapidly becoming very popular now, isn't it? And improving all the time, isn't it? Very rapidly. So. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Maddie, for coming to share all this. And if I need an AI expert, particularly in the field you do, I will have you on a show again. But in the meantime, as I say, thanks for stopping by my show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening. And remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now. But I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.